We're talking about scheduling here, and what that means is that we can set a time-based sequence. Um, and in PD, we do that using an object called QList, and QList reads text files. I've created these files using a Mac program called TextEdit, but any text editor that can save a file as .txt will work. And so QList uses a read command and the name of the file to determine which file it's reading from. So I have two files here. One is just to test some values out. And the way these files work is I have timings in milliseconds, and then I have the names of places where messages should be sent. So this is like a series of send objects. Each one is separated by a semicolon, and we have timings added to them. So after this file is triggered, 500 milliseconds later, I send the value 5 to the receive called test1. And then in my patch, I have that receive. Same thing here, I'm sending a different value to test2, 25. And this is 250 milliseconds after this event takes place. So that's a little different than what we've seen before with messages that we send to VLine, where all of the timings are relative to when the message is triggered. In this case, each timing is relative to the message before it. So 250 milliseconds after this event happens, and so on. 250 milliseconds after this happens, I send a bang to test 3. Then I send a 1 to test 4, which is connected to a toggle, so that should turn the toggle on, and then 250 milliseconds later, turn the toggle off. So let's see that. In my patch, I click read test.txt and click bang. And we saw those values come to the appropriate places. There was a bang there, and that toggle turned on and off. So we also have another text file called schedule. I have a send called drum and a receive called drum, a send and receive pair called vox, and a send and receive pair called synth. So to drum, I am simply turning a drum pattern on and off, and my drum pattern is using the sequencer construct that we talked about in the previous video. Vox is just using a tab play object that takes a bang message. And then the synth receive goes to a make note object. So we're sending pitch, velocity, and duration values to make note, which is handling note ons and note offs for a polysynth abstraction. And that has a monophonic voice inside of it that we repeat to create a polyphonic synth. So I click read schedule.txt and click bang.
Yeah. Whoa.
So the synth has a couple chords, a couple single notes, and we turn the drum pattern on and off, and we activate the Vox with the bang. But you can see we can send all kinds of different messages, and we can send them anywhere in any open patch window or subpatch using QList. And so we can create something like a traditional score where events happen at specific times and we can plan it all in advance and have a separate text file that stores all that information.